Sweet and sweet. Goes to show you just what's in a name, doesn't it? Here's a comic book review.
So this is Planet Houston.
Two for the price of one. Sweet and Sweet reviews. Superman 704 and Action Comics 894.
Check that out.
Hey folks, how you doing? Comic Book Man here. Welcome once again to my video Outhouse. It's time for
Sweet Talk with Sweet and Comicbookman, coming to you from Comic Book Man's video Outhouse at myalternatereality.com. Mt. Greenwood corner, 111 McKenzie, beautiful downtown. Everybody
Mt.
here.
Greenwood.
Things here are at a discounted rate of about 20.
All new comics are 15% off every day for everyone.
We love this show.
This
is a dedication.
It is.
You don't even know.
We're
how
doing a
much
long
work
distance
we put in.
dedication out to Peter Wilson of the Beach Boys.
Brian Wilson.
Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys.
That's what this episode is dedicated to, the Beach Boys.
And today, Dan has got not one, but two books from the House of L. We have got Superman number 704, which is a brief interlude on his journey across America to find himself and his place in the world. And we also have Action Comics number 894, which is a brief interlude in Lex Luthor's life as he travels to go see Death from the Vertigo universe and really screw up DC's structure.
No, I mean...
But anyway, Dan's here to review both books, and which one do you want to start with first?
The crappy one. This one.
The crappy one, eh?
Superman.
Well, okay, that's so much
704.
Let's find out if
No. That's a spoiler warning. The crappy one.
The crappy one. Well, just give it away, why don't you? You know, you should.
This is the video Outhouse.
Go home and talk to Nikki about teasing, okay? Because
subtlety.
You need to work on that a little.
Subtlety.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
I don't do subtle. I got two speeds.
Yeah,
Stop
apparently.
and go.
Stop and go. Okay, go.
All right.
Try all your furniture's
You want to know why you don't want to read this book? Because
Why?
it's boring and stupid.
Oh, wow. Boring and stupid.
No. JMS.
Which is it more of boring or stupid?
It's equal parts boring and stupid.
Oh.
It's oil and water.
Someone need two
Boring
copies
and
of that.
JMS has the sniffles.
Yes.
So him and Eddie Barrow's stuff is delayed.
Viral pneumonia. I think it was viral pneumonia.
whoops.
Oh, let's make more excuses for him. Where's your violin, comic book man? Do your job. Comics.
That's
Sick.
right. Leave
You're
the rest of
old.
us waiting out
You don't
here.
have a lot of time left to get these books out.
What's the word? Man
Hurry up. Superman's walking around, bored.
Okay, the book.
It's not that good.
He just told you.
Okay, the book itself, because JMS is sick, I'm not going to review it, I'm just going to give the backstory. Because JMS is sick, this is an interlude, this is a fill-in, but it takes place within the continuity of the grounded storyline. Lois is following after Superman, writing the story for the planet, and she stops off at, where's the town at? Do you remember offhand? He's been to Cincinnati, that was his last stop, he's coming to Chicago now.
He was boring Ohio.
Did he actually say where this is?
Indiana somewhere.
Indiana someplace.
It is in Indiana because it's where Lois grew up.
Okay, and she runs into an old flame who's now married, and he's married and has a wife and two kids. One kid.
Two kids.
And Lois is stopping in to say hi and to have dinner, and because I guess she knows the wife too.
She knows the husband.
She knows the husband.
She meets the wife.
Oh, she just barrels in on
and
the wife.
she totally.
Hi, I'm here.
Yeah, it's like,
feed
hey,
me.
I met this woman in the street, and I brought her home for dinner, dear.
But anyway, Lois does a what could have been because she sees what her life could have been. Had she stayed with the old flame and married him, she would be living in this little suburban home with a wife, with a kid, and a roof and
a cookbook,
Oprah and a cookbook and all this stuff.
It's a lot.
And instead, she decided to be the working woman and to go out and be the Daily Planet's
Superman's
#1
girlfriend.
And ultimately Superman's girlfriend.
That sounds
which is it's equal parts internal conflict because she does see this woman who's living this normal, peaceful life with stability and family and cake. Because they do eat some cake.
Cake is important.
And she starts to reflect, oh man, I wanted to be this intrepid reporter, jogging the world, doing stories and stuff like that, and instead what I do, I write stories about Superman, who's my boyfriend/husband, depending on where you are in time.
Yeah.
And I'm more like Superman's mouthpiece, Superman's Gal Friday. Okay. And that's not what she wanted. She even goes so far as to call herself a bad feminist. And then Superman shows up and they kiss and they talk about how everything's okay and she doesn't really mind. being his girlfriend,
okay,
and not having his children, and him running around. Sorry, go ahead.
No, one of the things I want to point out about this is one of the things they do touch on is Superman, and they've talked about this in the comics. Superman and Lois can't have kids because he's Kryptonian and she's human. There's no way that she could ever carry his baby, so the two of them will never have children. And when you get married, that's part of the reason for getting married, in most cases, is to bring a little child into the world and to move things forward with yourself and your significant other. And that's a part of her life which she will never have with Superman. And he'll never have with her.
Like they don't have adoption in the DC universe.
Well, of course they have adoption. There's nothing
Build
there's
a
nothing wrong
bridge
with
and
adoption.
get over it,
There's
Lois.
nothing wrong with adoption, but having your own child is a whole different animal.
I'm going to regret an exceptional life and trade it in for a banal one.
No,
average Joe boy. You know,
okay, as the one person here who has a child, okay, believe me, it's a life-changing experience. You guys, I've been where you were at. It's a life-changing experience, and you don't know it until you have it. It's one of those things that you have to actually do in order to understand.
I just have to live with not knowing.
Her and Superman should pull an Angelina Jolie and rescue one of these kids the next time one of the supervillains blows up a building or something. There's a million ways around this.
They did that with Zod's kid. They did that with Zod's kid.
And then they aged the kid to teenage status and made him Nightwing and stuff. I mean that was a good idea. They did it for the movie tie-in, and then they wrote it out of the story.
Okay.
Give him a little Chinese baby.
So
that's what's in right now.
Get him a pagan baby.
Get him a little Chinese girl.
Buy him a pagan baby. Okay, so this is
thumbs down.
Okay. Also, as mentioned this week, we have got Death showing up in the DC universe to meet Lex Luthor.
What's she doing
last month, Lex Luthor died at the end of Action 493. He got shot in the chest. He fell off a helicopter. He bounced off a cliff twice on his head, and he's laying there dead. And then Death shows up from the Endless.
Death the Endless shows up, and she is all sorts of deathy.
Yes.
Paul Cornell maintains the Neil Gaiman sensibilities about the character very much. I mean, he is very true to how the character speaks and acts and reacts with people and stuff like that. But he also has this masterful control over Lex Luthor. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Lex Luthor is the most smug prick in the DC universe.
Yeah.
And yet he's so likable in the hands of Paul Cornell when you understand he's just trying to be this smug prick, and he's just on this never-ending mission of power and stuff like that. So it's this too smart for his own good dude who really, I mean, he lives in this fantastic world where aliens fight other aliens to defend the world, and men run around dressed up like bats. But he doesn't really believe he's having a conversation with Death. He's like, I'm tripping balls, or I'm.
He thinks it's another supervillain.
You know, it's a dream, or
he thinks
something.
it's something he can. He thinks it's something he can bargain his way out.
Exactly. He doesn't understand the depth of what this means to the DC universe. This character's appearance, and I mean, if you're a diehard Neil Gaiman fan and you love Sandman and you don't think that they should mix, it might not be your look. It might not be the book for you, but. To somebody like me who hasn't spent a lot of time with that stuff, I think it adds. They brought it in a way that's true to the original character, true to the story they're doing right now. You know what I mean? With Lex Luthor's journey through all these weird supervillain situations and superhero stuff. Right. I mean, it's really. I think it works perfectly. I think if they brought Death in an issue of Batman and her and Bruce debate, you know, why he deserves to come back from Darkseid's Omega Beam sanction, whatever. It's like, that would be a little bit more like a shoehorn. This feels like a natural progression both for Lex and, I guess, a natural way to introduce this character in a way that's very much true to her roots. Mm-hmm. I love this. Pete Woods illustrated the crap out of it. Paul Cornell's dialogue is quirky and hits all the right notes. You know what I mean? Death is interesting. I want to read more about her. Lex.
2 trade paperbacks, High Cost of Living, and I forget the other one.
I want to read more about her in relation to these other characters, though. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think that's important. You can't bring in this character and only do her justice to the original source material. You have to make it accessible and interweave it with the stuff that's going on around her now. You know what I mean? Depending on where she shows up next and everything, we'll see what happens, if it's a good decision or not. Right now, I thought this was great. Okay. You know what I mean? I've been loving Action since Paul Cornell took over. I didn't know what to expect from this, and it was really, really well done.
Cordell's a good writer. He really is. He really does a nice job with Lex Luthor and the whole other end of the Superman universe, which doesn't get a lot of attention because Superman is obviously the lead character. But you take him out of the book like they've done with Action, and you just concentrate on other characters in the Superman universe and actually trying to make something out of them. Paul Cornell's done a real good job with that.
Yeah, and you also get the Jimmy Olsen second feature, which is pretty soon.
Which is also pretty good.
R.B. Silva's art is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, totally keeps in the style of the Pete Woods and everything that's going on. Nick Spencer, who I love. You know what I mean? Great writer. So it'll be interesting to see where this cuts off and what the one-shot, how it finishes, because they're not going to be running these second features anymore.
Yeah, they're getting ready to wrap up.
Cut them out.
And we're wrapping up, too. That's it. We're done. We're finished. We're out of here. But you can see more of Dan's reviews at the store's website. And where's the store's website at? Sarah knows.
www.myalternatereality.com. It's the website your grandmother used to make.
So stop off at the store's website and check out all of Dan's reviews. And until next time, this is Comic Book Man.
And I'm Sweet Dan Sweet.
Saying bye.
Hey, kids. It's not Comic Book Man. Sweet Dan Sweet coming to you from Alternate Reality to let you know our hero of the month is Batman! Bruce Wayne is coming back from the dead, so that means everything from trade paperbacks, hardcovers, showcases, archives, and back issues featuring Batman are all 25% off. If you have holes in your collection, if you've been away from the series for a while, you need to get in here and get your books soon before they're gone. Before they swing away.